Before I start this video, just to let people know that this video is totally my opinion. Doesn't make my opinion right. It doesn't make my opinion wrong. Clearly just makes me want to share my opinion on the upcoming topic, and any comments or anything like that, you could put down below and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. ItzThatNerdJames here, and we haven't done one of these in a while. Looking forward to it, and it's something I want to talk about since I've seen this, and you clearly can see by the background. I'm going to be talking about the new Fantastic Four film from Marvel Studios, to be exact. So sit back, relax, and here's my thoughts on it. By the way, this part of the video will be spoiler free, and I will do a little quick spoiler tag at the end. So enjoy the video. Let's get to it. So here we are, finally, the start of Phase 6, and pretty much a good cast of people to start Phase 6 with. Now, when you hear the name Fantastic Four, you look at the past movies and go, ooh, it's safe to say the Fantastic Four, when it comes to movies, to the big screen, hasn't exactly got the best track record. I mean, the original, the first Fantastic Four film in 2005, I think, it was okay. It was pretty good for what it was. And then obviously we had the Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was good up until they Cloud Galactus. Never forgive them for that. And then we had the Fantastic Four reboot, which was
that is one big
not the actor's fault. It was just god awful. So there was a lot of low expectations for this movie. First off, my opinion, this was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are going to be in the comments saying, oh, this is rubbish and stuff like that. It doesn't make my opinion correct. It's an opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. And I know all my friends are like, you're just saying this because you're a Marvel mark or a Marvel fan. And I'm like, I'm not a Marvel I am a Marvel fan. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I've read Marvel comics. I've seen Marvel cartoons all my life, since I was like 4 or 5 years old. And the Fantastic Four cartoon show back in the day was great. It was really, really good. And I thought, why can't this transfer over to as a movie? No, this was a really good movie. It set the tone for what Phase 6 is going to be up until the Avengers movies we're going to get at the end of this phase. And it's a good film. Like, from storyline aspect, it was really clean cut. It is the shortest Marvel film they've done. I think the runtime was only 1 hour and 58 minutes. So which kind of marks it as one of the shortest MCU movies we've had so far. And by God, there are a lot of them. It's the right pacing for this sort of movie. You know, where some Marvel films, there will be like a quick pacing all the way through. And then by the time you get to the end, you're just like, that was a thrill ride, but what the hell just happened? You know? Looking at you, Love and Thunder.
How are we doing, guys?
But this movie hits the right tones. It's emotional. It's the mood goes up, the mood goes down. There's a lot of like angst as well, and just there's a lot of everything in this movie. And I think it's like a far better movie than we've had previously with certain films. I think this is better than this movie is probably better than Wakanda Forever, probably Black Widow as well. I can't comment on Thunderbolts because I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet, and I'd probably say Captain America as well, the new one maybe. Even though that was a good movie, I think this one might be a little bit better. I'm not too sure on that. They're kind of like they're kind of level pegging. They're both good in their own little ways. So I think Fantastic Four is a little bit better. Casting. The casting for this was outstanding choices. Vanessa Kirby, for myself, as Susie Storm, steals the show. I think she's a really good actress. I don't think I haven't seen her in anything previously, so this is actually the first time I've seen her in a film. She's really, really good. She played Susie Storm, far different to what other actresses have played her before. Not saying that their performances were bad. Their performances were really good for their time. But Vanessa Kirby hits it out of the park. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic is great. He portrays that character really, really well. Joseph Quinn, who plays Johnny Storm. Now, we're all used to like the womanizing style of Johnny Storm, but this one was a little more different. Joseph Quinn put in an article somewhere that this version of Johnny Storm was not going to be a womanizing kind of character. There were like tendencies like, I want to see there's a line in the other which is like, I found a space chick for the first time. It was actually really cool, and now I have to do this. So I'm like, that's actually quite funny. But other than that, he's quite like this jokey, jovial like character. And let's not forget, everyone, okay, the Human Torch was one of the first characters created for Marvel, so of all the characters, the Human Torch is the oldest of terms of characters, which a lot of people don't know about, which is actually quite insane to me. He plays that character really well. The Thing, I can't remember the actor's name, so I do apologize. Somebody will tell me in the comments. But the Thing in this movie is very close to like the cartoon version of the Thing, like the comic book style, which is really, really awesome. Really, really good character. Not as like temperamental as previous characters from previous movies. This one was quite more level-headed and quite mellow for the Thing, which is actually pretty cool. It's a different spin on the character which we haven't seen before. Really, really class act. And Herbie as well. Herbie's awesome. The storyline aspect of this wise, is set in the 60s, but this is not the 60s of the Earth 616 main timeline that we're used to. This is a different universe which they've already said that it was going to be. This Fantastic Four is on Earth 828, which is significant later on, and they've been together. They've been the Fantastic Four for 4 years. They've gone into a little bit of what they did, what happened, and where they ended up now. And obviously, New York loves them. They're on TV shows. They've got their own cartoons, which is quite funny. And they've obviously got, the Baxter Building looks incredible as well, which is downtown New York, which is kind of like where almost close to where like either the Avengers Tower would be or where the old World Trade Center would be. And it's quite a unique building as well. High floor, looks incredible. If Lego decide to make that as a Lego set, I would probably try and get it myself. So they do this, and then all of a sudden, there's this cosmic being that comes out of nowhere who is the Silver Surfer. But they don't call her the Silver Surfer in the way. She knows she's the Silver Surfer, because it's in a different universe. This is female version of the Silver Surfer, and she looks incredible. She looks really, really good. I will say, maybe the shine off her looks great, but I think a little more toning up of the character could have done a little bit better for her. Because she seemed really flat, and the CGI was pretty good for the Silver Surfer, but I think she could have the CGI could be a little bit better. And a little bit more defined look as well, but overall, but apart from those little niggly things, she looks incredible. Somewhat of the same that we were used to, with some similar traits that we saw in the Silver Surfer in the second Fantastic Four film, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. She looked incredible. She did look incredible. The character, the voice, and everything like that. The actress was amazing. Obviously, she gives the warning. She's in the trailer. Blah 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 blah. I'm the herald of Galactus. Galactus is coming, and then everyone's like, Earth is pretty much like, Fantastic Four, what are you guys gonna do? It's like, and they're like, well, we're gonna try and see how this goes and save. At this point as well, Susie Storm is pregnant with child, which is actually quite funny because logic was, I'm pretty sure pregnant women can't go to space because of like the turbulence and everything, but somehow they make it work with this. But this is Marvel, so logic does work, but it doesn't work as well. There's no continuity within the logic of that area. I'm sure some space freak who got the baby wouldn't survive or anything like that, but which is a shame because that would be pretty cool. So they go to space. They've developed like hyperspace as well, which is pretty insane for them to do. But then this is Reed Richards, smartest man alive, would make sense. So they go off, they see where Silver Surfer has been previously on to this planet, and they're like, well, there's nothing here. Oh wait, the Silver Surfer's here. And then all of a sudden, like, you get to see Galactus' ship for the first time, and it wasn't exactly what I was thinking Galactus' ship was going to be, but they find him anyway, and then they get transported on, tractor beamed on, and then they meet Galactus for the first time. And I will say, Galactus, MCU, Marvel, Kevin Feige, I love you for bringing Galactus into this movie, because he looked great. A lot of us, like myself, have waited for a live action version of Galactus, which isn't a cloud, by the way. He's actually living, breathing. We see him in the flesh, and he looks incredible. Again, I forget who the actor's name who played Galactus is, but he looks incredible. It looked really, really good. The voice, the eyes, everything looked incredible. And obviously Galactus wanted a bargain with Fantastic Four wanted a bargain with Galactus. Galactus wanted something, and then Fantastic Four didn't want to do that, so then he got pissed off, and then this whole insane thing happens really, really quickly. They head back to the ship. Obviously, whatever happens, they go back onto Earth, and obviously Reed Richards is like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we can save you. Blah. And it takes a dark turn from the public liking the Fantastic Four to absolutely hating them, because Reed Richards is still trying to figure out, like, how do we get rid of Galactus. Johnny Storm is still trying to figure out what Silver Surfer said, and he's reading off these like discs, like these gold records that Reed's been recording, like these like transmissions and whatnot. So he's been trying to figure that out. And then they all decide, and then they realize that, wait, the only way we can save this planet is if we transport the entire planet from one place to another, which is like, because Reed Richards has been working on like teleportation randomly, and I'm pretty sure Star Trek doesn't exist in this universe, but I digress. So obviously they get everything ready, and then Silver Surfer kind of ruins that plan. Galactus appears on Earth, and everyone's like, we don't know what to do. We've literally don't know what to do. That's our last thing to do. And then the Fantastic Four have a plan. It's not a really good plan, but then, it's a way to draw Galactus off his ship onto Earth. which he does, and they have this massive battle, which eventually Fantastic Four succeed, and everyone's happy. Sun shines and rainbows. Movie ends. That's pretty much like the synopsis of it, without spoiling anything. But overall, it was really, really good. I will talk about the cutscene, the mid and post credit scenes in the spoiler cast. But overall, I think the Fantastic Four film, this was the best Fantastic Four film we've had. I think this is the fourth Fantastic Four film we've had, and it's taken them 3 tries to get a really good one. So I'm really happy with that. Really, really happy with that. If I gave it a score, probably a 7.5. It's pretty good. It's good. I rate it all right. Again, I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, James, you're a bit biased. I don't agree with your opinion." It's my opinion. It doesn't. I'm not saying that I've got a right opinion. I'm not saying I've got a wrong opinion. Let's just say it's an opinion, right? And I think this is a good start for Phase 6, because we all know it's leading up to Doomsday and Secret War eventually. Right. With that being said, I'm gonna do a little transition here, and then we are gonna do the spoiler cast. So be prepared. The spoiler cast will be coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Transition now. There we are. So, right. This is a spot. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Like and subscribe if you like this video so far. This is the spoiler cast, so if you don't want to be spoiled, thanks for watching. But if you don't care, get ready. Here it comes. My God. Galactus was hunting for Franklin all this time. Okay? So, when it comes to the movie, okay, obviously Susie Storm's pregnant, and I've already said in the start that they fly up to space. When they meet Galactus, obviously the Silver Surfer takes them to see Galactus, and Galactus is like, "What would you bargain for to save Earth?" And like, "Well, what?" They're like, "What do you want?" And Galactus goes, "Your child has like this interesting cosmic power," and then it goes, I will spare your planet if you give me your child." And Reed and Susie are like, "Nah, fuck this." Even Ben and Johnny are like, "Nah, no chance. This is not happening." And then all of a sudden, Galactus just does this power move on Sue, and then Sue's in labor. So this is rush against time to get Sue back onto the ship. At this point, Herbie is like collecting samples and everything, so they got to rush all the way back whilst being chased by the Silver Surfer. And Silver Surfer and Johnny do have like this little battle, which is actually pretty cool. But she eventually gets like knocked off of board and into like, he's surrounded by lava on his ship, by the way. Oh, by the way, his ship is not what you think it is. His ship, in the comics, his ship is like this round circle with tentacles coming down. No, his ship looks like the fucking Doomsday machine from Star Trek. You know, the big fucking cone with like the light in the middle that swallows planets and everything like that to feed it. That's pretty much what that ship is like. And he's like in the middle of it, which is actually pretty clever, but it's also like, the fuck. But it makes a change as well, because then they're not doing the norm of like the tentacles coming down on the planet, sucking everything up, you know, which is pretty cool. Different take. But then again, this is a different universe, so Galactus may look different in Earth 616, you know. But then they got on the ship and they bugger off into space, and I'm pretty sure they've seen this on Star Trek somewhere. But the Silver Surfer catches up with them in the wormhole, in the hyperspeed wormhole, and tries to take the ship down. But Johnny's like firing at her, and obviously firing the laser beams aren't hitting her directly because they get warped around the wormhole. And you know, they eventually come out and into a singularity, and they think, we need to chase it down. What are we gonna do? We know. Let's go to the singularity right now. Try and get as close as we can to it, so the singularity will pull her in. While this is happening, Sue is using her powers to like make the ship disappear, which is quite funny. It makes the ship disappear, but not the other engines. And she's giving birth to this, and she's in labor at the same time. So she's a strong fucking woman in this movie, real strong woman, really, really cool. And they eventually get rid of the Silver Surfer. Franklin is born. It's quite a touching sound. It's quite a touching moment as well, being a new dad and everything, which is pretty cool. I was a little emotional in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my emotions are like up and down all over the place at the moment. But yeah, they did that, and then obviously they go to Earth. They say we don't know. They tell them, the reporters ask, what did Galactus want? And they said, Reed Richards said, he wanted our child because it has this cosmic power which we didn't even know about. We don't even know ourselves what it is. And then everybody turns up against them, and they're like, no, just give the baby and stuff like that. And it's kind of like this like witch hunt for the baby and the hatred for the humans that the humans have for the Fantastic Four at this time. But during that, there's this fantastic speech that Sue Storm does in front of people and protesting outside the Baxter building, which is actually pretty cool. That turned the public back to their favor, which they kind of understood. And then they do the whole teleportation thing. Silver Surfer ruins that basically, and they have one left standing in New York. So Reed, so they're all trying to decide what's going on, but then Reed ultimately decides, look, which he's teased all the way through since Galactus has asked, because you could tell he's been thinking about it, which I think was a bit of a dick fucking move, but you can understand the logic as well, that he's going to use Franklin as bait. Obviously, Sue doesn't like that idea. She disappears, but then she eventually is like, we'll have to do it. She does come around to the actually do it. They put him in a carrier, which is actually pretty cool. Puts him in the center in New York, and Galactus has to pass this certain line to get there, and then it'll teleport him into a different time. Not different time, but different area of the universe. Because without a ship, he can't survive, basically. But eventually Galactus lands on. He walks through New York, and he towers over New York. He's like this giant, which is actually pretty cool. There is this funny moment where he's in the Hudson River, and he looks at the Statue of Liberty, and he just smiles and then turns around and walks. But he does eventually, he sees the carry, he scans the area, finds the a baby carrier. He walks towards to the area, and then all of a sudden he stops as he's about to go over that threshold. He stops, looks, and then scans again. And then he realizes, the Fantastic Four have actually swapped the carriers, and heads to the Baxter building. And then he eventually gets Franklin, which I was sitting in the cinema. I was on my own in the cinema, and there were other people that tried everything in my power. Again, this is being a new dad. 4 months in, by the way. Nearly 5 months in, by the way. So it took me everything in my power to not scream at the top of my lungs, "Fuck you, Galactus!" Grabbing him, and the baby's scared, and I'm like, I would have saved him, but I know it's not real. It's like, father instinct kicks in. But then they eventually subdue Galactus. Sue Storm, fucking hell. Susie Storm in this is so powerful. Not Captain Marvel overpowered, but she uses the full might of her power in this movie, which is incredible to see, and eventually helps the team, properly helps the team, which they do get him in eventually into the Singularity, and they save Franklin really well, and you think that's it, but then Galactus, as they've still got time, Galactus manages to get out of there, just about gets out of there, and then you think, oh shit, what are they gonna do now? And then Silver Surfer comes out of nowhere and helps the Fantastic Four, basically. Takes on Galactus, hits him, goes through Galactus, and knocks him into the Singularity. Because before this, Johnny, obviously I should have said this before, but before this, after Johnny was analyzing the recordings. John discovered, there's a speech in this, and it turns out that the speech is there's a lot of recordings from her own planet and called her by her real name, which is Shalabal. And Johnny's like, this is you, Shalabal, this is you, this is who you are, why are you being like this? And then obviously Shalabal, Silver Surfer, is having flashbacks to, which I thought this was really interesting, because I thought we were going to see, obviously it's the same story of the Silver Surfer. Galactus asked Shalabal to be his herald, and he'd spare her planet and all of her loved ones. I would have thought we were seeing like Norrin Red, in it, but we didn't. We actually got like a different spin on the character. We got to see her, Shalabal, as her normal self with a daughter, which is actually pretty interesting because we're in a different universe, right? So the laws of physics and everything else, character-wise, is different in different universes. So he discovers that she buggers off for a while because she's like, she can't handle what's going on and whatnot. Obviously they got rid of the thing. Sue dies in it, and it sucks because this is what broke me in the cinema. I know, soft twat, I know. Because they had Franklin and Reed and Franklin were like upset, and then Franklin was even more upset because he wanted to be with his mother, and that was the touching bit because Franklin was like leaning on his mother and like crying and stuff like that and didn't know what to do, and then all of a sudden he stops crying, just looks at her like in this way, and then all of a sudden a twitch of the finger, everyone realizes, wait, what's just happened? And then she's awake, she's alive, and it's like, whoa, Franklin's just literally brought his mother back to life, and everybody's happy, rejoicing and whatnot, and everyone's really, really happy. The late night show, the talk show that they go on at the start of the movie and at the end of the movie is quite funny. But at the start they're on there, but then at the end of the movie they're about to go on, but they get an emergency call and have to bugger off. And then there's this funny scene where Reed, Johnny, and Ben are trying to get the car seat in the car, and Susie Storm is literally like behind them holding Franklin, laughing. Well, not laughing, but like look at them with intent as the three of them are trying to like figure out how to put the car seat or the baby carrier in the car, and they eventually do. It's such a funny scene because as a father, that's an everyday thing, doing that. And then the movie ends and it's great. You got this awesome credit roll with all the characters' names, stuff like that. And then we get to the mid-credit scene, which if you're a true Marvel fan, you will stay till the end, till all the credits go out, unless they announce they haven't got one at the end of it, which is very rare. So the post-cut scene, the mid-cut scene is basically 4 years after the movie, where the movie takes place, and Franklin is 4 years old at this point, and Sue was reading a book and stuff like that, and Sue goes, do you want to get another book that you like? And Franklin's like, yeah, get another book. And she goes off, and it's kind of like this, like Franklin's just on his own, and then all of a sudden you pan to Sue, and she's calling him out, and then nothing happens. No one said anything, and he's not in the room, quite ironically. And then all of a sudden she walks to the fireplace and then uses her abilities, and all of a sudden you see Franklin standing in front of Doctor Doom. It's the first glance of Doctor Doom. Obviously we don't get to see the face or anything. It's literally the hood, the green cape with the gloved hand and the Doom mask in his hand. Obviously it's Robert Downey Jr., but we don't actually see his face or anything like that. And Franklin is just looking at Doctor Doom straight in the face for some reason, and then the scene ends like that. It's like, wow, we actually got to see Doom for the first time in movie. And then they had the thing saying like the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. But they've been teasing Doom for a while in this because at the start of the movie, Sue Storm is talking to like the United Nations or something like or their version of the United Nations, and they have every country there apart from Latvia, which is quite funny because I think at that point of the movie they didn't announce Doom at all. I don't think they didn't announce Doom at all when they were making the movie. And so they kept that seat blank, which is actually pretty funny because obviously Dr. Doom's from Latvia and is it Latvia or Latveria? I think it's Latvia, from there and whatnot. So this was the first glance we get to see of him, which is pretty awesome, really good, and it kind of sets the tone as well for what Doomsday is going to be like. And then the final like end credit scene is just basically the opening of the Fantastic Four cartoon from their universe, which is pretty lit, which was pretty funny, and then that was it. That was the end of the movie. The one fact I will take from this, it was they kind of made it into a tribute as well, because Earth 828 is actually the numbers 828 is actually Jack Kirby's birthday, which is August 28th. Because Jack Kirby was one of the creators behind the Fantastic Four, and I think Jack Kirby and Stan Lee brought the Human Torch in as the first Marvel character initially. So it was kind of like it was a sweet tribute of Marvel Studios to do that and show them like the respect for Jack Kirby for all that particular character. So that was pretty awesome to see. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's the spoiler part of it. Go and watch it, check it out for yourself. I've got a good feeling about Phase 6. Obviously, Phase 4 was not the best because it followed Phase 3 and Endgame, obviously, and then Phase 5 started getting a bit better. Had some good stuff in there. Phase 4 had some good stuff in there, but I had to follow Phase 3 basically, and then Phase 5 was pretty cool. Up to a point, some bits were like okay, and others were like it was more good than bad. But I got a good feeling about this, especially now that Spider-Man Brand New Day has been announced as of recording this, and Tom Holland's back as Spider-Man and everything out with a new suit and everything, so it looks pretty rad. So yeah, go and see Fantastic Four if you haven't done so yet. If you're not going to see it, don't worry about it, it's fine. It'll be on Disney Plus eventually. That's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for watching, appreciate you. If you like this video, like and subscribe. And also as well, don't put it in the comments, oh, you spoiled the movie. I did warn you, there was a spoiler cast at the end of this video, and I gave you plenty of warning, and I did say if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the end of this video. But it is what it is. Good night, have a good one, guys. Speak to you soon, see you on the next one. Good night.